Okay. Ada slide record tau. So nanti you potong lah. Tahu macam mana potong? Tahu macam mana potong tak?
I think so lah. I tried with my
Okay.
Sudah start eh?
Okay, sudah start. If just check also.
Hi, good morning everybody. My name is May. Before we start, I will give you some introduction about myself. I was previously working as a company secretary and also head of investor relations for public listed companies. So currently I'm on my own and I've been giving training and I've helped Bursa Malaysia more on investor relations training. So before we start, maybe you can go through the pre-test questions. You'll be given 10 minutes to answer these questions so that you have a better understanding about today's topic. And today's topic is about embracing the culture of corporate governance in the company. So 10 minutes. You can ask me if you don't understand the question. Maybe I will read to you. Question 1, understanding corporate governance principles. Define corporate governance. In every organization, you have corporate governance. It all depends on how you put in the rules and regulations in the companies. And briefly explain its importance in the organizational management. Provide an example of how effective corporate governance can positively impact a company's performance. Okay. And then the question 2. Role of stakeholders in CG. Identify and describe the key stakeholders involved in corporate governance. Okay. Discuss the responsibilities and interests of these stakeholders and in ensuring a strong culture of CG within an organization. Number 3. Implementing CG practices. Outline the main components of a robust CG framework. Discuss specific strategies and practices that organization can adopt to foster a culture of CG and give me some examples of the real-world business scenarios. So I'll give you all some time before I start.
Okay, I have one question.
Yes.
Example of how effective corporate governance positively impact a company. So I have an issue when the staff, for example, is trying to be so positive in the office, yet they are having mental health. What would be your situations and your explanation on this?
When you say the staff is so positive, that means the staff
is under pressure to keep herself positive, but at the end, in the long run, she's having a mental illness.
Oh, that could be due to work stress, and also it depends on how she manage her time management of her workload, and also there are a few factors that we have to look into it. Like for example, the job scope. Sometimes boss, some bosses they like to throw too many types of tasks for the staff to handle. And some staff, right, because they are too loyal to the firm, they dare not speak up. We are not, especially in Asia countries, right? We are not like those Masali firm, they don't like it, they tell you, no, we are giving too much. So there are a lot of factors that we have to look into that. The best thing is to have a counseling session with the girl.
Thank you.
Okay, I ask something. So is corporate governance principle, is it really back to the SDG and ESG that we
Yes. It depends on the company. Some companies now, especially SMEs, they do not, or rather they don't really practice CG. And now most of PLC listed companies, publicly listed companies, they start to practice ESG, CG. After the authority, right, encourage them to have this best practice. So that means it's good lah. Companies start adopting this CG in the company. Even like small firm, it's always good to start from small by having like things like operation manual, operating manual, all these. These are also part of CG procedures.
Okay, have one. My question is that if let's say we don't implement corporate governance practices, what is the percentage and chances of failure of the management?
Okay, when you say you don't implement
A proper systematic,
system,
yeah.
in the long run, I think is you will have a lot of corporate issues. Like for example, I give you a very simple example. You don't give your staff like you have to come in by 9 o'clock. You say never mind lah, up to you as long as you come in before 9:30. So if you implement this kind of rule, it's not like mandatory kind of thing. And most of the staff they will come, typical Asian people lah. You say 9:30, they'll come at 10 o'clock. Then they'll start giving you excuses, say traffic jam lah, this and that. So this is a very simple example. And I do have a company, they implement things like you have to come in by 9 a.m. Failing which you'll be fined 50 ringgit for like 5 minutes late. There's one PLC, I know they're implementing this. So the staff all they are very scared. Or they have the thumbprint system, or they have the what you call that, punch card system. You are allowed to be late 5 or 10 minutes, like 3 times. After 3 times, your salary will be deducted for that month. All these things they listed down in their company's HR manual. So it all depends on the company whether you want to implement it to make it easier for the staff to follow. If you don't, then staff will take their own sweet time. Or like receipt of claims. Some people they don't provide receipt. So if you don't provide receipt, if the staff want to go for entertainment, they say, sorry, I never keep receipt, but the client actually eat about 500 ringgit. So how are you going to justify? It's going to be a cost, for the company. So in the long run, your company will suffer losses instead of like, getting more benefits from this. So procedures and CG is very important.
Thank you.
So can we go to the next slide?
Yes, please.
Any other question?
No.
Okay, this is a simple game for you all to know each other. I presume that most of you are quite new here, and then you don't know each other. So the game is like that. Each participant will take turns sharing 3 statements of themselves. Okay, 2 of the statements should be true, and 1 should be clearly counted a lie. Okay, you introduce yourself or you say something. The name of the game is called 2 truths and a lie. And then the rest of the group will try to guess which statement is the lie. The objective of this game is to aim to build connections, break the ice, and have some light-hearted fun as we learn interesting facts about each other. So remember, the more creative you get with your statements, the more fun you will get to guess the lie. So are you ready or not to start the game? If you are ready, then I will, I will invite the first, the first person from the left. What you need to do is you introduce yourself first, and you tell the rest about 3 things about you, and the rest will guess which one are the truth one, and then which one is a lie. Out of your 3 statements, 1 is a lie. Okay? Start.
So I have to pick 2 truths and a lie.
A lie, and you introduce yourself because they do not know your name, you see.
Okay.
Yeah, this is called ice breaking activity. That means you try to get to know each other.
Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Fatih.
Hi, Kathy.
Thanks for coming.
Okay. So I will list 3 things. First,
Anything? Tak payah susah-susah.
oh, that's true. Okay. First is I have a big family.
Okay, number 1.
Second,
Second is, I think we need time to
Like,
like,
time, that's what you
yeah,
ask.
Yeah. You said the
Like, they just
question.
give us like 3 minutes to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, person.
Because now suddenly I also don't know myself. Yeah.
Or should we change to Zainal this way?
Yeah,
Okay, we have 3 statements.
Okay, hi, I'm Zainul from Gombak. Not single.
From Gombak, not single.
And then everyone call me Encik Senyum.
Everyone calls you what?
Encik Senyum.
Encik Senyum.
Yeah, that's my
Okay, 3. He is from
social
Gombak.
media.
Second, he's single. And
Not single.
Not
Not
single.
single.
Oh, he's not single.
Yes.
3.
There's
Encik
four.
Senyum. So out of these 3 statements, can you all guess which is a lie?
He's from Gombak.
Yeah, he's from Gombak.
Too easy.
Yeah,
We are three from Gombak.
From Kramat.
Oh, that means correct. Yeah, this is how the game goes.
Okay.
Okay, second participant, introduce yourself.
My name is Iman.
Iman.
So this one will be. I just turned 20.
Again, number 1. He just
Happy birthday!
Yay! You a key,
I'm studying
studying,
and I rent a house.
rent a house.
Mhm.
So which is a lie?
Rent a house.
Rent a house.
This 20, you must be living with your parents.
Okay, third participant.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am Nur Atia Ismail. I am 25 years old. I am a lecturer and I'm from Kelantan.
Okay, which is a lie?
25 years old.
Oh,
Do I not look like 25?
Because the sun is 30.
yeah. Okay, the next participant.
I'm still thinking of my last sentence. Can I skip to you?
Okay. I was okay, so the first one is the same as just now. I have a big family.
Big family,
And then I have 10 cats.
10 cats.
And the third one is I was born in Kajak.
You have 10 cats.
That's the lie?
Yeah.
No, the big family is a lie.
Yes.
Okay, we're wrong this time. Okay.
Okay, now me.
Yourself, introduce yourself.
I'm Jacinta.
Jacinta.
Yeah. So my first statement will be I want to be a businesswoman. Second will be I'm engaged. Third will be I like fashion design.
Second one.
Number 1.
Second.
Second one. Oh, second one.
I thought you said number one.
Okay. I know, I see It's
So which one? You are not engaged.
number 2. I'm number 2. Line is number 2.
Yeah.
She's single lah.
But she's not engaged, but she's not single.
Okay, good. Oh my
So
god.
we
She's
have
listening.
we have Jacinta, and we have Nor, and we have Iman, and we have Zainal. Everybody
Yeah.
clear about their names?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, this is the topic for today's training, embracing a culture of corporate governance. So I know some of you actually are quite new to this title called corporate governance. You can share with me if you don't understand, you can raise questions, because my briefing I will be focusing more on SMEs and also PLC and also my experiences. If you need to ask me any question in terms of like what I've experienced before, you can actually ask me. Right? Okay, next one. Introduction. Corporate governance serves to protect and boost the interests of shareholders by setting the strategic direction of the company. Okay, but here it says interest of shareholders because of the requirement by the authority, right? They encourage people, especially those publicly listed companies, to implement this CG in the company. That's why CG is more applicable to those listed companies. Okay? A well-designed governance framework enables a company to flourish, ensuring that ethical practices are in place, risks are managed, and stakeholders have confidence in the stability of their organization. So if you are a well-managed company, right, a lot of people will start thinking of like, I want to join this company. How nice if I can buy things from this company, this and that. You will have confidence to buy things from this company. You know that they are like, if a food company, they are like ISO compliance or this. So these are the things. So this is the introduction. The program objectives of this cycle. At the end of the session, you will be able to define key traits of governance, especially if you are working on companies. After today's session, you start thinking, oh, my company actually we don't have this in place, we don't have that in place. Maybe I can share with my bosses, what I have learned from today's training. Okay, illustrate right techniques you can share with your bosses, provided your bosses all they can accept it lah. Some bosses say, no, lah. They say, you don't tell me how I run my business. But you try to encourage your boss to have the right technique so that the company can grow. So the third one will be develop the governance plan. Share with your boss how you develop a good plan for the company for each and every division. Next one. We will cover 8 modules. Okay, the first one will be exploring corporate governance. Module 2, recognizing the role and responsibility. Module 3, understanding accountability. And then number 4, identifying common issues. Number 5, aligning goals and strategies. Module 6, transforming for results. Module 7, applying current practices. And of course, number 8, winning triumphantly. That means you achieve whatever that you have already implement and then whatever that you have already practiced. Okay, next one. The first one, module 1, exploring CG. Corporate governance. Before we go into this detail, maybe I can share, maybe you all can tell me, since early 2000s, right, have you come across in the world which company actually have, which company has very bad governance? We start from overseas. Can you quote me some examples? Companies that has so bad governance that the whole world is like, ayo, why they become like that? Ayo, why they cheat the customer? Why they cheat the shareholders? And it happened until there's one company, the CFO, he has no choice but to hang himself.
Oh.
Yeah, he committed suicide. It's a very famous case in the world last time.
It's a bank, is it?
I think no, not a bank.
Not a bank.
You're talking about Baring? Baring Bank?
Sorry?
Baring.
Baring, yeah, bank.
Baring, the guy, he was he's still alive today.
Oh, it's okay.
He was well, that is a very good example.
Yeah.
Because that guy, he got the so-called because he was in the trade business, right? He kept all the orders from the customers, from the shareholders. He kept all in the drawer, and then he didn't tell UK what he has done for the daily transaction. So he accumulated a lot of debts. That means they buy the stock, right? But then when you buy, they have so-called T plus 6, T plus 3 or T plus 6 to pay back. He accumulated until such time that the company realized that they have bought so many, they got no more money to pay. So something like that. So it has caused the 100 over years bank to collapse that time, very bad. Nick, I think Nick Leeson or something like that, the guy. So this is a very good example. That was much earlier. The case I'm talking about, you can Google either Enron or WorldCom. These two cases. Saya know, ingat tak? These two cases. Okay, Malaysia, CG, bad governance. Can you all share with me?
One MDB.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah.
And the recent one? You buy stock, you know.
I do my stock.
You just start thinking of
I buy a kitchen stock. Food stock. Food storage. Recent one. Daim Zainuddin.
Daim also, but then because that one still pending kan. The one very obvious one is server dynamic lah.
Dynamic
And also Pawan Niaga.
Niaga, yes.
Then last time actually I worked in the previous company before, Transpa, the airline, air cargo company. These are the companies that has very bad governance. They misuse their funds and then so they abuse their power in the company. Then the shareholders or the board members trust them so much. Which company?
I was thinking, is my airline an example of?
Yeah.
Yes, my
Yes,
airline, for
yes,
example,
yes.
very good, Fatih. My airline, okay, a lot of speculation. Some people say the company belongs to one of the ex.
Scammer.
You know who lah? The minister lah. So the minister actually came out and said, no, I don't give them funds. But behind the scenes, you know what happened. But it's a very good example of poor corporate governance. So these are the examples, right, whereby the top management, they have their so-called their link or their relationship with another top member, and they misuse the funds of the company for their own benefits. So very good example. Okay, since we talk about bad governance, can you all share with me which are the companies in Malaysia has got good governance or overseas?
PNB.
Huh?
PNB.
Not so.
Banyak benefit to staff.
Because
Si banyak
PNB
benefit to
kan,
staff.
dia banyak dia punya branch kan.
The HQ lah,
Yeah.
the HQ is
Bukan dia banyak itu subsidiary kan. They also don't know what they done. I would say lah, if you ask me, Maybank quite good.
I was about to mention Maybank,
Maybank.
Maybank.
Bank ada etika.
Maybank got quite good governance. Yeah. And then another one like World lah. I think Microsoft, is it good?
Google.
Google, Microsoft, these are the good companies. So, any more examples from your good or bad governance? At least you all can share, then we can.
PN.
Which one?
From China. And they got manufacture, they give bonus to their staff. Bagi kereta, bagi rumah.
Then
PN.
PNEN.
oh, I heard before that's scammer.
No, scammer is they are manufacture punya company. So they are got something like bonuses for the staff. They give house, give car, something like that.
Oh, but it's good lah. They
Yeah.
actually give lah.
Yeah, because the boss said we share the profit company to the staff
So in Malaysia they do have this company, Tian, or in only in China.
in China.
Oh, Malaysia tak ada lah.
Malaysia. Tapi Malaysia kalau bonuses is PNB lah.
Yeah,
PNB,
Petronas.
Petronas not so much. Ecoworld. Dulu SB Setia, because I used to be
Yeah,
with
SB Setia take care of the staff.
Oh.
Yeah, because SB Setia they have a grade, the grade A, B, C, D. If you are the lowest one, D, you will get at least 1 month bonus.
Wah,
Tu kira paling teruk lah, most of the worst one, kira not to perform. And then they have one staff yang get grade A, which is 12 months of bonuses.
Wow.
From what I know, like for me last time, right? Because I was like in the investment firm before, this company called Merrill Lynch, right? I was based in Penang. I know they have like front office bonus and then back office bonus. I belong to the belakang one, the back office one. So they do work on that. Those front office one, that means they face clients, the dealers, representatives. You know how much their bonus are? 24 months. They drive the cars on.
Yeah.
So these are the good employers lah, we say to the employees. But those were the times lah. Now still got lah, but very hard to find. Okay, defining CG, which I mentioned just now, and reviewing best practices. So if your company directors feel that one day, let's say for example, like I know, if you feel that, hey May, I want to have my CG in place in my company, then I say, yeah, that is a good idea. But then you say, but I'm not too sure whether this CG framework that I'm going to put in my company, whether it suits my staff or not, whether they can adapt to the change or not. So you need to review what is the best practices for the company. Let's say accounts department, you will say maybe accountant, you have done this. I would like to have an internal auditor, external auditor to come and have a look of the work, because sometimes if you depend too much on the internal staff, you don't know, especially when it comes to inflow of funds, what they do with the funds. You don't know, at least you have some practice in place, you get external auditor to review. Then at least there's some so-called transparency. Okay. Next will be adhering to the basic principle, whether they follow the principles that you have already in place. Some people, there are rules a lot, they put in a lot of rules, but do they actually follow the rules or not? Some people, they just put for the fun of it. Like for example, annual report. A lot of companies, they put in like, we will comply with this, we have this best practice, this and that. But when you actually go and check with the staff, right, they will say, boss taught me, but inside the office, no lah, we never practice, things like that lah. So you will raise a lot of queries from the staff. If you talk only, but you don't practice, you must walk the talk lah, you say, right? Okay, listing concerns of bad governance. If you realize as a staff, you realize something is not right in the company. Okay, staff has been like taking money from the company. Maybe the company is a shopping mall or what, and then for example, a supermarket, you realize that one staff has been taking cashier from the petty cash, tapi tak ada record. So these are the things that if everybody closes their eyes, nobody knows the mistake. But after long run, it will be a loss to the company. So these are the bad governance of the company. Sometimes it's good for you to raise your concerns to the bosses, and they realize that then they can start thinking of what are the steps we can put in to reduce this kind of losses. Okay, next one. Defining corporate governance, which I mentioned just now. Now we are going in depth into this, and applying best practices continuously. So may I ask, Noor, do you have your own company?
I don't have. I am a lecturer in UPM.
Okay.
So we basically follow the policy that was set by UPM for all the staff.
That means they do have they will update continuously what are the procedures and best practices that you have to follow, right? You see, even in education line also, you have all these things in place. What's more in the company, right?
Yes.
Following the standards and laws. You follow, and then stakeholders' responsibilities. When you talk about stakeholders, right, can you give me example for company, who are the stakeholders? Stakeholders. It can be employees. Are you a stakeholder of the firm? Yes, you are. It can be the board of directors. They are. So everybody is like, you have a share in the company. It means you are accountable to whatever that you do in the company. So if you are a director, what are your duties? What are your responsibilities? If you are a junior staff, even the tea lady, you also have a set of responsibility, right? Okay. Creating CSR and ESG awareness. Who understand what is CSR? I know.
Corporate social responsibility.
You see, Iman, thank you. Good, man. Corporate social responsibility, what does it mean? You create corporate social responsibility or ESG awareness in the company. These are the things that our government is trying to impose now, or trying to encourage now. That's why you can see now a lot of new organizations start giving training on ESG. Actually, last time in the old days, in early 2000s, we already have ESG, but the problem is we didn't use the word ESG. Brusa only put it in like environment, social, governance awareness, but they never use the term ESG. Only now that they split, I think maybe because after COVID, so they are very particular.
Actually, it's not after COVID. It's the ESG requirement. Malaysia is supposed to submit to United Nations by 2020, but due to the COVID and also there's no awareness among the public and corporate. So Malaysia failed to submit it. So the next one,
Malaysia failed to submit it.
yes. So that's why now Bursa are pushing it for any corporate. If they want to have investor or anything, they need to submit ESG report. That is one requirement because all the report will be submitted to United Nations by 2025.
By 2025.
Yeah, the next submission is 2025.
For only company listed on the exchange, or
Yes,
only for all the SME also.
it's supposed to be all, but now they're technically for all yang under the what they call it, under Bursa. So example, like if you are a new company, if you want to have investor, you need to have ESG.
Yeah.
Even the old
investor
company
have to
also,
do,
if
right?
they don't have ESG, they will not get the new funding.
Correct. If like now, let's say you want to find, say for example, telecom, you want to find a very big investor, right, to your company. Of course, when you go and see the investor will ask you for the necessary information about
Yeah.
ESG. Now it's always like that. But even for SME also, a lot of SME they are also practicing ESG now. In fact, like Zymo, your own firm, just now you were saying that earlier on, you were saying that you brought the staff for company trip. This is actually CSR, social responsibility. He takes good care of the staff. It's a motivation thing for the staff. So even SME or they can start following. When you have this thing in place, right, slowly you will create the awareness among staff.
And also, actually, ICE just got recognition by GPM Malaysia regarding leadership of sustainable.
Congratulations.
Because we are introducing the sustainable program in our talk series, so that's why we got the
This year?
award. Yeah, this year.
Wow. You have already got the award.
Yeah, we got the award.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I and Jess going to receive the award.
Sustainability is because of your
Programs. Our programs for we have about four series of sustainable talks. So that's why we got the sustainable leadership under the training. Yeah. So we target to achieve more this year for the next one.
maybe next time you can share more with us now on the sustainability.
Yeah, sure.
Because I also want to find out more on the middle one, S. A
Yeah.
lot of people are more concerned about S, you know. I mean, social,
Social.
you know, environment.
Environment, yeah.
And I also one of the GPM certified.
But have you got the ESG certification?
I GPM ni?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I cannot do report yet. Because I kena dapat lagi satu exam. Lulus baru I can
But
do the
tough or
report.
not the exam?
The exam is objective, but they give you 3 hours to answer 100 questions.
3 hours for one
100 questions online.
online.
Yeah,
Your passing rate?
70. So even though you are doing with your friend, question number 1, me and question number 1, his will be different. So you're not same.
Not the same.
Yeah, because they're using AI to calculate and then to give the question.
So that one you haven't done yet, lah.
I've done, but I failed.
Never
So
mind,
need to take in.
I see. Okay. So this is about definition of CG. Next one we go to reviewing best practices, reflecting the culture of governance. So once you have your CG in mind, right? You want to have this kind of practice in your company. You have to see whether can the office culture accept this kind of thing, the culture. Some, I must say lah, a lot of family-owned business, right? Memang they cannot accept this kind of thing. True or not? No. Alright, family-owned business, when you start implementing this, implementing that, right? They cannot accept it. So you have to reflect the culture and getting guidance for decision. If you want to implement, like the MD say, I want to implement this thing in my organization now. You cannot say I implement it today, means I implement today. You have to seek the advice maybe from your CFO or get the advice from the board directors. Right? Streamlining internal processes. Of course, if you start things like that, right, you have to inform the staff. How to tell the staff there will be a change in the company. We're going to implement this new rule in the company. And then if new rule in place, right, we have to define their responsibility. Different set of responsibility. Like for example, you want to do something new for your company and go and see a specific client, you have to get approval from your boss. Things like that. Next one. Adhering to basic principles. Can you see or not? I purposely highlighted this one, RITA.
Rita.
Because my TTT trainer is
Yeah,
Rita.
yeah.
So this one easy for everybody to remember. Taking responsibility. Okay? If you have CG in place, do you take responsibility or not to your company? You are given certain tasks. Are you responsible? Are you accountable to follow or not? The next one, practicing impartiality. There is no favoritism, no bias. But I talk only, no bias. A lot of people, the company, even like if a staff is not performing well, but the staff is very good at people call what tripod bodek lah. Sometimes they have promotion or increment higher than the other staff. So we cannot have a proper governance, right? If you don't practice fairness in the company, right? The next one, observing transparency. Whether you are transparent enough or in a company. Like I share with you one example. I was in a company. I was a company secretary. When you are company secretary, well, you will be in charge of the corporate secretary work and including. So happen my company has ESOS. ESOS basically means employees share option scheme. That means the boss issue shares to the employees at a cheaper rate compared to others. So one day my boss called me in, May, I want to give this friend's wife, my very good friend's wife, 200,000 shares. But I cannot give her the share. She has to be employee of the company. How? The boss asked me. I said, of course cannot lah. She's not the employee kan. She's not under our payroll. You know what the boss asked me to do? Can you create one fake one? Can you create a fake employment letter for the auntie lah, for my good friend's wife, so that I can give the person that amount of shares? I told my boss because of my background and my position, I always follow what I have learned. I told my boss straight, sorry boss, I cannot do it. I told the boss, sorry, I won't do it. So these are the things. If you start doing that kind of thing, then where is your transparency? You put in your annual report, we are very into following corporate governance practice in the company, even at board level, even at the junior management level. But you are not practicing. You are forcing a staff. You are forcing a staff to
do something
do
immoral.
something immoral. So if let's say I acting in the league with the boss, right? What will happen? Right? So these are the things. And then ensuring accountability. Whatever you do, you have to be accountable. Let's say you are going for holiday for 2 weeks. You cannot be saying nobody is answering your call, doing your so-called follow-up of your work. You have to be accountable. Get somebody, brief somebody, hey, I will be away for 2 weeks, right? Can you look into all this for me? Or something happened in the company, if you are the one that created the problem, right? Face it. Stand up for it and then don't pass the blame to other staff. This is always happening in any company, right? I'm sure you all face such thing, right? In the face it. So maybe later you all can share with me example. A lot of people, when things happen, right? Behind the scene, they will start talking. Actually, not me, that stuff like that. She was the one that caused the whole thing, but boss don't know. Now boss think it's me, So these are the things, because no proper job description and no proper procedure in place. These things concerns of bad governance. Okay, what will happen if you have bad governance? Facing inefficient internal audit. Inefficient. That means, like I mentioned just now, if you have a company, you suspect that your accountant is taking money from the company, but you don't have any procedure in place. Macam mana? So if that happens, you will suffer more losses. So my advice to you is, in order not to create any suspicion about, on the staff, you just say that okay, we implement today, we will have external auditor, a qualified external auditor to come and audit the company. Things like that, right? Undergoing fraud and bribery. This one, is very common in a lot of companies. Like my previous firm, the director is an airline company. What they do is they come out with a lot of fake invoices. So these are the things that we staff know. Of course, in the eyes of the authority management, they will cover up lah. And then subsequently the company suffer losses, and then the authority come after us, this and that. But again, authority, when they want to catch somebody, everything is based on evidence, right? So having big board of directors, this is the one that always cause problem in the company. This one. Always. Look at MAS last time, what happened? Right? Look at 1MDB, what happened? So these are the one. You put the wrong person in the company, you will suffer. What did Warren Buffett say? When you want to hire a staff, always look into 3 things in a staff. What are the 3 things? IIE. First I, integrity. You must have integrity. When you hire somebody, when you interview the person, you check integrity. Number 2, intelligent. You don't hire stupid people lah. During interview, you ask the right question for the right position. Okay, number 3, energy. You don't hire lazy people. Because if you don't hire this type of quality type of people, who will suffer at the end? Your company. So always, the board members is the one. If you don't guide the MD, because board members are the one that's supposed to guide the managing director. If you don't guide your CFO, or you don't guide your C-suite management or top management, they will give the wrong instruction. They will give the wrong direction to the junior staff. So their head is very important, just like your family. The father, the mother, all the nene and moya, all very important. So these are the very important things for company. The next one, practicing unethical leadership, which I mentioned just now. A lot of board members, they always say, I leave it to the CEO lah, I leave it to the MD lah. This thing has caused a lot of downfall of a lot of companies, because the MD and the CEO, they abuse their power. Okay, a lot of things like that. So when you go into a law of Malaysia, right, Securities Commission, the companies that they put them under reprimand and put them in jail. These are all the leaders that they cheated the company, use the company's funds for their own benefits. Later I will show you my experience in the airline company. It's something like my airline, but it's worse than my airline. Yeah. So question and answers. State reasons for unethical business practices.
No proper procedures in the office.
Yes, one of it. Maybe each one of you can state one to show that you understand what you have learned from the one. Before I give you the example. Fatin?
Fraud.
Fraud. What kind of fraud? Example, very simple example. Fraud.
Misuse of power and fund.
Misuse of power and funds, correct? Some more, what kind of unethical business practices? Right. That one very biasa, very common kan? I want to get this contract, you get for me. Once you get the contract and me, I will give you this money, right? That's why a lot of people got caught, So that's why MACC is coming in place, right?
I garu you bukan?
Yeah lah.
I scratch your back.
You scratch my back. That is called unethical business practices. No? Example?
Number 2, yeah?
Yeah, you want number 2 also can. These are people are responsible for CG.
Okay. One is HR.
Yeah.
HR. Okay. So
What do you think HR is also important for CG?
HR is very important because they manage the policy, they manage the people, and also they manage the stability of the company. So they are among important people that we need to strengthen up when it comes to corporate governance, so that they can be the best example of the
Organization.
the organization. Yes.
Yeah, very good, thank you, thank you. So, Lino,
These people responsible team,
she said HR, who are the people somewhere?
is the CEO also. Yeah, responsible corporate governance. If the CEO are doing bad things, so it will be. It's not just affecting the staff, but it's affecting the whole company.
Yeah, look at my end, CEO do such thing, right? The whole company suddenly one day no flights, cancel flight. And then the staff suddenly all no job. And my friends sign contract with them, they never pay. They contract to supply things, they got out, never pay. So it will affect many people. That's why I said the head and the CEO, or rather the board, is very important for the company. Because you never show example as a leader. So if the leader don't show example, the subordinate, right, they don't follow, they also left out. Same. So name major impacts of CG. What are the impacts? Impact, that means if you don't have a good CG, right, what are the consequences? What will happen to your company? Yeah. Some more? Iman?
A bad work environment.
Yes. You demotivate the staff. You work in a company that has got no proper procedures in place. Then last example.
The good staff move away from the company.
Stuff. It means people slowly will leave your company and end up left with all the also good stuff. So how much you all understand about this first module of this training? You all think that you can, when you go back to your office, you can actually share with your boss. And boss very important. Today I learned a lot.
Can I share my boss now? He's here.
Everything starts from small. Don't wait until your company is so huge and your foundation is not there, and then the whole company collapse just like that. Yeah. One example I want to share with you is that my previous firm. I was in an airline company. Okay. I was their company secretary and also somebody who handles all the investors. When the company went from last time, we have this thing called second board and main board. For those who are older, we know second board, main board, right? Now only we have base market and main market. So when my company was transferred from the second board to main board, when you transfer to main board, most of the fund managers and analysts will start looking at your stock. That means they will be on the radar screen. Okay, so when they start looking at your stock, if your company is performing, all this while, let's say your company, the profit only sikit, like 1 year maybe 3 million, then 4 million, then suddenly after you change to main board, you will have a lot of people coming to sign contract. I was in an air cargo company. Everybody will come and say, hey, can I sign contract with you? You sell my product, my goods to Hong Kong, to America, this and that. So what happened was because it's so famous, right, and it actually attracts a lot of big investors. So we have 2 big investors in Malaysia that came and joined the company as a so-called shareholder. Then they buy over from the founder. The founder sell to them, say 22% to this investor, another 22% to this investor. So when my boss came and see me, the fact that I was a co-sec, my boss just dumped the paper to me. Make announcement today. When I look at the amount of shares, it actually triggered my mind. As a co-sec, right? If you have transaction of more than 22% in a day, which costs the company millions of dollars, and you don't make immediate announcement to the public, something is not right? And okay, you don't make immediate announcement, it's fine. You can make, like the board say, today don't make, maybe tomorrow make, it's fine. We do things based on the board's decision. But the thing that triggered my mind is, For somebody to invest so much in your company, why there is no due diligence done? You know why the due diligence not? Due diligence means, say for example, now Zino want to sell his company to me, right? I said, Zino, how much you want to sell? Zino said, May, I will sell to you based on my net value. I'll sell to you 20 million. I asked Zino, do you think your company is worth this much? Zino said, yes. So I asked him to provide me with all the documents. And then I will send my team, my accountant, whoever, to get from Zino the audited accounts, to check Zino background, to check this. These are called due diligence. I do this thing. So when I received the information from this particular director to see me prepare to make announcement, the first question I asked, boss, just like that only, such a big amount, no duly done, no lawyers, nothing. No, just follow our instruction, make announcement. So I was like a bit, I wonder why also never mind, because boss is big one. So you see, this example, I not yet finished my story, This example actually tells me the company has good governance or bad governance. Good or bad?
Bad.
Bad, because you have to take care of all the shareholders, right? So by doing so, after I make announcement the next day, I have a lot of calls from all the investors. So they start asking me questions. So this is an example of the very bad governance. I mean, I will go further when it comes to module 2 because of the time constraint. So before I end, let me go to the next slide. I don't know whether you will have the conclusion here. Corporate governance strategies are one of the most essential features of a successful business. Okay? It directly impacts the reputation of the company and its growth. What did Warren Buffett say about reputation? Always remember, he says it takes 20 years for you to build the reputation of a company, but it takes 5 minutes for you to destroy it. Always remember this. Susah-susah payah you build a company because of poor governance, cheating, bribery, or you make your company collapse. Very good example, 1MDB. Such a good company, right? Because of a few individuals of their greed, right? It caused the whole company to collapse. And who suffer at the end? Who suffer? The riot suffer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we suffer.
Correct. So good governance leads to the development of the company, where bad governance may lead to the company to spoil with time. So these are the things. These are the references, the books that you all can buy.
Oh, so which one do you think the one that we should buy? Since you have 3, the first one that we should read and allow us to understand about this corporate governance. Any suggestion?
If you ask me, of course, I will ask you to read this now, because this is the one issued by MISA, which is also my association.
Okay.
And then
we get that
applies
one.
to Malaysia also.
Okay, thank you so much.
So the next one will be, sorry. You can, before you leave for your coffee, you have any other further questions? Any other further questions?
Does the corporate governance also include appearance of the staff? Or it is just about procedures and
That goes to HR, which you mentioned just now.
so it is not part of the corporate governance.
It is what?
It is part, right?
It is a best practice in the company. Imagine you have staff every day low cut. How you expect the male staff to focus in their job? When the woman low cut, big boobs come to the office every day, the male will be like, wow, she's coming. So these are the things.
Okay.
So do we have some more time? I do. So any other questions that you would like to ask me, or you want to listen to my that corporate governance? Okay, Tati.
Let's say I'm in a big company, right?
Big company.
Yeah. And let's say I'm junior staff, just entered the company, and then I find out about bad governance. For example, like there's fraud and bribery kind of things happening right in front of me, and when my team, my colleagues knows about it, they told me about it. And how do I, as a junior staff,
Highlight this.
can highlight and
But the thing you found out is at the senior level or at your junior
at
level?
the senior level?
So at your senior level, but the senior level, is it the shareholder of the company or the director of the company?
It's more of a senior manager,
Senior manager, but the senior manager also reports to the big boss, right?
big boss, but I don't have access to the big boss. So basically, I'm like a very junior staff.
So that is a question when you want to be a whistleblower. Because some companies, they do not have that kind of so-called procedure in place for whistleblowers. That means that HR, they may not have this rule whereby when you have questions like sexual harassment, like example, bribery, you don't have a center for you to report to. That's why it's very important for HR to send out a memo when you have such issues, right? You allow the staff to go to the particular section of HR, whoever is in charge of this disciplinary action, okay, you highlight to them, and they must be sure whoever whistleblow this case to them, they keep it P and C. That means no one has any clue who actually reported the case to whom. Just like, for example, like me as a company secretary, I find out that my company is doing all these bad things, right? Okay, people doing fake invoices. The boss asks the senior engineer, asks the pilot to go to another country, and from another country fax the invoice. We know, but what can we do? We cannot say anything, right? So what we can do is that we keep quiet, but we keep quiet also. After a while, who can find out? Who? For PLC, the auditor. The external auditor, they were the one that found out things like that happened. So when they found out, you as a staff, you should also like indirectly highlight to your boss and say, boss, actually I realized you do. Then the boss say, why did you tell me earlier? So you tell your boss, I'm in a very difficult position. You explain to your boss, and then your boss will tell the HR. But the problem is, I share with you my previous company. I was doing investor relations, right? I traveled to Hong Kong to do roadshows and to do investor briefing. So one day, okay, my boss actually signed a big contract with one particular what you call that, freight forwarder. That means our cargo will take like your Shopee will take all the products, right, to Hong Kong and to America. So we signed a big contract. So because of the signing of the big contract, and because of the big shareholders that joined the company, the boss said, okay, we already got a big contract and we already got this, we need to buy new aircraft. So the boss said, okay, we buy new 4 wide body aircraft. Wide body aircraft, it means bigger capacity. So we committed, and then we call it convertible bonds for people to borrow money to the company. But at the end, things happened. I didn't know initially, but when I went to Hong Kong, one particular fund manager is a very famous fund manager. When I went to Hong Kong, when I give briefing on these investor relations, I have to like give one to many, right? Normally. But this particular investor, he requested me to meet him personally in his office. So I said, okay. So I went to the office. You know what? When I went to the office, we do have what you call that, like let's say for example like Nomura, like CLSA, they bring me along, right? Or like Goldman Sachs, they bring me along, they want to join the meeting. That company told them, you wait outside, I only want to see me personally. So I went in. So during the one-on-one meeting, you know what the fund manager, he's so smart, he grilled me with a lot of technical questions. What he grilled me. May, your company is expanding too fast. I said, yes, I understand. As from the company secretary perspective, I understand. But we, as a fund manager, we find out that your foundation is very weak. That means your company is expanding very fast, but your foundation is very weak. What does that tell you? That means your CG, all these requirements, is not properly in place yet. And then after that, he showed me all the audited accounts. He showed me one, You claim that your company has been making profit. You claim that your share price has gone up from 2 ringgit and 95 cents and now your share price is 10 ringgit and 80 cents. All these, yes, the shareholders and the so-called the public and the market force bring your share price up, huh? Very good. But we realize something is not right. We realize that you all open one associated company and we realize that this is how you cut the losses. So these are the questions that trigger my attention. So what I did was, I cannot answer because I'm not the boss, right? So I gathered all the information from these fund managers. I went back to, after I came back to Malaysia, my normal thing that I do for myself, I put everything in writing. I came back, I put in writing, I emailed to my executive directors. Executive directors means those directors that work in the office. You know, like for PLC, you have independent directors there, but executive directors means those directors work in the office. What I do is, what I did was, I emailed to them, I say, hey bosses, my recent trip to Hong Kong, I have the following queries from these particular fund managers. So I listed down, and you know, the moment my email is out, I got a phone call from Shanghai. My CEO told me, you don't try to be funny, watch out of your position. See? And then after 10 minutes, my immediate boss came to my room and said, May, stop it. CEO just called me, asked you to stop all this. I said, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I only emailed to you on all my feedback from Hong Kong, right? So I could hear from the background, the CEO is here, the CFO is behind. The CFO's voice kept telling the CEO, tell her off, warn her, ask her not to be funny. So I heard the background voice, you know. So the CEO actually warned me on my position, indirectly tell me I will sack you, right? But I understand my position. In a corporate secretarial like PLC, the appointment of a company secretary and the removal of a company secretary is not the decision of the CEO. It's the decision of the whole board member. So he cannot sack me. So I just tell my boss, it's okay boss, you all can ignore my email. True enough, after 2 months, auditor came to my room and the whole company, the issues blow up lah. You all go and read lah. Transform this company. It's a very famous and we call it darling stock in early 2000. Okay, so I guess I have fulfilled my time for module 1. So you all can finish your assignment before you leave the room. The assignment which I gave you just now 1 to 2. And you have any question, you can always ask me. Right? So any other question before we proceed to have our coffee time?
Yay, thank you.
No question, huh? So we'll see you later for our module 2.
Alright.
Thank you very much. Bye.